You've probably played Fallout for over 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, maybe even over 20 years. Some of you watching this might be Fallout lore masters or explorers and have seen everything the games have to offer. But what about the things that can't be explained? Events that can't be pinpointed to every copy of a game. Myths and legends written or created by amazing artists to add more sustenance to these worlds outside of their already complex lore. First began this video with the intention of talking about creepypasta surrounding these games, but I found a truly interesting rabbit hole. A whole onslaught of Fallout myths and legends either created for entertainment, communities finding ghosts in the code, and odd events that can't be explained even to this day. I'll show you a few, and you can decide what you believe. Probably the most famous legend in Fallout is a creepypasta created in Fallout 3 called The Number Station. But it's not just a creepypasta. Some of the stuff in this story actually became reality, and it's truly mind-boggling. Our story begins with an unsettling act. The player, me or you, is driven by some dark curiosity to kill Three Dog, the charismatic host of Galaxy News Radio. With Three Dog's voice silenced, the radio begins to crackle and hiss, emitting not the familiar tunes of the wasteland, but strings of random numbers and bizarre codes. This wasn't the cheerful chaos of the apocalypse. This was something much darker. Whispers then spread across the internet. Players reported that leaving the comforting embrace of GNR's broadcast range and ascending to great heights could summon this spectral signal. Among the desolate ruins, in places like the mountainous region around Raven Rock, atop the Ferris wheel in Point Lookout, or the eerie SATCOM arrays, the Number Station awaited. Imagine standing there, the wasteland sprawling beneath you, and then you hear it. Three Dog's voice, but stripped of its warmth, repeating digits in a monotonous drone. The numbers spill forth, followed by brief snippets of Morse code, before the haunting strains of "I don't want to set the world on fire" return the broadcast to its macabre normality. The Morse code, when cracked by cryptographers on Fallout wikis, revealed messages that were as humorous as they were horrifying. Among the eerie transmissions, you might find mundane musings.
"Wash the car today. Maybe Chinese for dinner. Have you watched my YouTube video yet? I uploaded myself kicking bums in the nuts."
But these trivial notes soon gave way to something far more sinister. Messages spoke of doom, despair, and apocalyptic visions.
"I can't believe they've actually done it. Not long left. The noise. I can't take the noise anymore. I have a pistol in the attic."
An extended version of that read,
"I can't believe they've actually done it. Not long left. They were warned, but they just had to keep pushing the boundaries of science. The noise. I can't take the noise anymore. And the light. Dear God. The universe is slowly unraveling around us. I'm not going to wait for death. I have a pistol in the attic."
Among these messages were eerie predictions that seemed to mock the boundaries between our world and the game. Some predictions were laughably false, such as Britney Spears winning an Oscar, but others were unnervingly accurate.
"The Queen has died today. The world mourns as on days like this, we are all Brits."
While the date was wrong, March 19, 2014, the event itself occurred years later in 2022. Which, I mean, of course that was going to happen. Humans are humans, even the Queen.
"He's dead, and blame will probably be placed on the actor Booth. Johnson better not cheat me out of the payment."
An eerie reference to the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, casting Vice President Andrew Johnson in a shadowy light.
"What you talking about? You'll be missed. Accident in the Gulf. Oil spill apparently averted."
These started off with a group of numbers that were later discovered to be accurate dates. These are references to the death of actor Gary Coleman and the BP oil spill, respectively. The dates are accurate to when these incidents occurred. The Number Station whispers one last chilling prophecy, dated 1/27, July 6, 2027. What doom it foretold remains lost to the digital void, leaving only an unsettling sense of dread. In the end, the number station remains an unproven legend, a digital ghost story. Whether you believe in it or not, one thing is certain. The number station has cemented its place in the haunted halls of Fallout lore, where it will continue to send shivers down the spines of those who dare to listen. If you were around for the release of Fallout New Vegas and you were an active member in the community, then you probably ran into this story a few times. Nestled into the waste south of Goodsprings and northwest of Prim, there lies a forsaken trailer known as the Lone Wolf Radio. This ramshackle broadcast station stands like a grim sentinel, shrouded in eerie silence and dark secrets. Rumor has it that this place is no ordinary ruin, but a hotspot of paranormal activity, a beacon for the restless spirits of the wasteland. The legend of the Lone Wolf Radio began as a piece of digital folklore, a copypasta that spread like wildfire across sites like 4chan following the game's release. According to these early tales, the trailer was the lair of the Lone Wolf, a deranged and tormented soul who haunted the Mojave. Enter this cursed place, and if you're lucky, or perhaps unlucky enough to activate one of the old ham radios inside, you'll hear it. Faint, ghostly whispering beneath the static. The air grows cold and your skin prickles as the whispers seem to beckon you deeper into the mystery. Inside the trailer, scrawled in a frantic hand, you'll find graffiti that chills the soul.
Everyone is gone. I am all alone. Let it all in.
Nearby, a dark bloodstain hints at a tragic end, fueling rumors of the lone wolves unaliving themselves. Another message, stark and menacing, warns,
Keep out.
Follow the trail of blood that snakes up a nearby hill, and it vanishes without a trace, leaving you with an unsettling sense of unfinished business. Some claim to have seen dismembered NCR troopers from Prim, their bodies twisted in gruesome tableau that speaks of unspeakable violence. Early rumors painted the lone wolf as a psychotic killer, preying on the innocent denizens of Prim and Goodsprings, even unaliving children and burying their bodies outside of his trailer. This would be the ghost voices you hear on the radios, calling out for closure or whatever the case may be. Theories of a removed mission in the game suggest that the courier could either join him in his bloody deeds, earning a dark perk, or slay him for a hefty reward in karma and faction reputation. But no trace of this mission remains, leaving it to drift into the realm of speculation. As the myth gained momentum, game designer Dennis McMurray revealed a kernel of truth behind the legend. The lone wolf was inspired by a real-life figure, a man McMurray knew at the University of Oregon. This man would stand on campus corner every Saturday ranting about government conspiracies through a personal microphone and speaker. McMurray imagined that, given the means, this man would have created a pirate radio station like Lone Wolf Radio.
Well, the inspiration for it came from when I was at the University of Oregon,
McMurray recalled.
Every Saturday, there was a guy who stood on the corner of the campus where everyone walked by. He had a personal microphone and a speaker and would just babble on and on about one government conspiracy theory or the other. Radio Shack was what I imagined he would have put together if he upgraded from travel speaker to pirate radio.
Lone Wolf Radio remains an enigma, a spectral shadow in the Mojave's harsh sunlight. Video investigations and forum discussions continue to this day, each new theory and discovery adding to the chilling tapestry of the legend. The myth persists, haunting the minds of those who dare to seek the truth. So, if you find yourself wandering the wasteland and the night closing in, beware the call of the Lone Wolf Radio. For in the silence of the desert, the whispers of the past may rise to greet you, and the Lone Wolf spirit may not be as far away as you'd like to think. This one is rather quick, but since we're in New Vegas, let's do our own detective work. Our story begins with the quest Valaire, where the courier is tasked with raising a sunken bomber from the bottom of Lake Mead. The lake, already a place of mystery, becomes a stage for an unsettling encounter that has captured the imaginations of wasteland wanderers and myth hunters on the internet alike. Once the bomber breaches the surface, Radio New Vegas crackles to life with an eerie broadcast. The news speaks of an airplane soaring over Freeside, a sight strange enough to draw the eyes of the weary wastelanders. But what follows sends a chill through the air. Reports of a strange creature spotted in the depths of Lake Mead.
Witnesses report a huge object or creature surfacing in Lake Mead. So far, photos of the so-called Lake Mead monster are grainy and underexposed.
Was it the bomber, a relic of the old world that these wastelanders glimpsed? Or was it something far more sinister awakened by the bomber? Most dismiss these sightings as mere fabrications. A brave few myth hunters and thrill seekers dare to dive deeper into the legend. They scour the lake's murky waters, driven by tales of a monstrous beast that defies all logic and reason. I found loads of videos of people searching the lake for the supposed beast, and the evidence wasn't looking great. So I decided I'd look for it myself. We would add ourselves to the fray of these would-be myth hunters and see if we could find anything. This is that footage, and what I find might surprise you. Alright, unfortunately I found nothing besides the hordes of lake lurks that scour this place. To this day though, the legend persists. Myth hunters continue their quest, combing the lake for any sign of the beast. Each ripple, each shadow beneath the waves is scrutinized with a mixture of hope and dread. What if the monster is real? What if it waits biding its time until the next unsuspecting traveler wanders too close? The Lake Mead monster remains an enigmatic figure in the annals of Fallout New Vegas lore. A story that haunts the dreams of those who dare to believe. So when you find yourself near the shores of Lake Mead, keep your eyes peeled and your senses sharp. For in the stillness of the night, when the world is cloaked in darkness, you might just glimpse the shadowy form of the Lake Mead monster, watching and waiting from the depths below. Fallout 4 released in an era where the internet became less imaginative, or inquisitive, one could say. The myths in this game are very surface level, but I did find an interesting place that leaves one feeling strange. Fairline Hill Estate stands as a ghostly echo of a once thriving community, now a graveyard of shattered dreams and haunted horrors. 6 buildings line the cul-de-sac, their exteriors eerily reminiscent of Tranquility Lane. Yet step closer and you'll feel the chill of unease settle upon you, as if the very air is tainted by the fear and agony of those who once called this place home. The estate holds dark secrets, scattered like breadcrumbs, leading to a grim revelation. We receive 2 clues to come to a conclusion. As you step into the estate, your first encounter will be with death itself. 2 monstrous Yaoguais, their eyes gleaming with hunger, will attack, their roars echoing through the empty streets. Nearby, the half-eaten carcasses of Brahmin line a grotesque tableau, a first sign of the violence that befell this place. Venture further and you'll find a house, its windows boarded up, as if trying to hold back the nightmares within. Enter this decaying structure and you'll be greeted by the ghastly sight of feral ghouls. Among them, a glowing one, its irradiated presence a beacon of despair, lurches towards you with a horrifying groan. Piece together these dark clues and the grim fate of Fairline Hill Estates comes into focus. This was a community under siege, first by the ravenous Yaoguais that tore through its defenses, causing panic and flight. The unfortunate souls who remained sought refuge in their homes, boarding themselves inside in a desperate bid for safety. But safety eluded them, for their sanctuary became a tomb. Radiation seeped in, transforming the survivors into feral ghouls, twisted echoes of their former selves, cursed to roam their decaying home in eternal agony. But the reason I put this place on the list in the first place isn't because of these physical outcomes. Yes, it's dark, but it becomes downright eerie when you bring a companion with you. Should you venture into this forsaken place with a companion, you'll soon notice their discomfort. They may mutter about an inexplicable desire to leave.
Nice houses and no one living in them. That's not a good sign.
Their eyes darting nervously as if sensing unseen eyes upon them. Even the stalwart Preston Garvey, should you bring him, will speak in hushed tones of how this was once a Minutemen settlement. It's odd to see any companion act this way, and it really ties it all together. Last one for today's video, and its existence may surprise you. It all began with a discovery that set the internet abuzz: dinosaur bones. Yes, you heard right. Dinosaur bones in the grim, irradiated swamps of Point Lookout. These ancient remains were stumbled upon near the coastal grotto, just off the Erie East Coast. Submerged beneath the murky waters, these bones lie in wait, half hidden and half revealed, daring the brave and the foolhardy to uncover their secrets. To catch a glimpse of this skeletal monstrosity, one must peer through the gloom, angling the camera just right to cut through the water's blur. And there, on the seabed, lies what is believed to be the skeleton of a T-Rex. Its bones a ghostly echo of a bygone era. Beside this ancient behemoth, a locked safe sits ominously, promising general loot, but holding far darker implications. The discovery of these bones sparked wild theories among internet communities. Could it be that live dinosaurs lurked somewhere in the misty expanse of Point Lookout? Were there creatures long thought extinct still roaming the earth, their presence hidden from all but the most intrepid explorers? These questions fueled the imaginations and fears of many, though no living dinosaur has ever been found. While many dismiss the dinosaur bones as a mere Easter egg, a playful nod from the game's creators, others could not shake the feeling of unease. The placement of these bones, the eerie stillness of their underwater grave, and the tantalizing mystery of the locked safe, these elements combine to create a sense of foreboding. The bones seem to whisper of secrets long buried, of ancient terrors that might yet rise from the depths. Despite extensive searching and countless hours spent combing the marshes, no live dinosaurs have been discovered in Point Lookout. The bones remain a solitary relic, a haunting reminder of a time when giants roamed the earth. And yet, the myth persists, urging adventurers to delve deeper, to question what they see and what lies hidden beneath the surface. So if you find yourself wandering through the misty swamps of Point Lookout, in the land of fog and shadow where the past bleeds into the present, you may just stumble upon the ancient bones of the Point Lookout dinosaur. Whether they're merely an Easter egg or the harbinger of darker secrets, one thing is definitely certain. They'll leave you wondering how exactly dinosaur bones wound up on the surface of Point Lookout. Now it's your turn to go out and find something, anything. These games are still surprising people to this day, and it's not hard to see why. I'd also like to ask you guys what your favorite myths and legends are from Fallout, and leave them in the comments below. Maybe you'll be featured in the next part. Also, if you could like the video, it'd help me out a lot. Follow me on Twitter with the link in the description. See you in the next one.